I'm calling this a classic Christmas prequel origin movie.
Hmm.
One that gives us a fresh insight into the origins of good old Saint Nick.
Hmm.
What got you excited about this story?
I think it was reading the book. So I got um a first audition, which I got sent a script over to read, and then I think my sister had the book, so I thought I may as well read the book to learn about the story, and then yeah, it just really interested me. I thought it was a great idea, and I was like, how's no one ever thought of this before? Like the origin of Father Christmas. So yeah,
Yeah, and there's also, it's your first big movie as well, and you're the lead as well.
yeah,
That must have come with a hell of a lot of excitement and a lot of pressure for you.
yeah. I think the first when I first got offered the job, it was just like went all over my head. It just went over my head like it was crazy. I was so excited. It was amazing because I'd never done anything anywhere near to the scale of this, especially being a lead. The only thing I'd done before was this really small part. Like, I had about 20 seconds in Les Mis on the BBC. So yeah, it was amazing. And then yeah, I just really enjoyed myself. Um, mm,
Cool. Obviously, you got to work with some of the best of British talent as well. You've got well, obviously you didn't have any screen time with Maggie Smith, but
yeah.
you played with Jim Broadbent for a
Hmm.
couple of scenes. I mean, did he give you any acting tips at all?
Um, there's I don't know. I think it's a weird one because I feel like you're not really meant to give tips on set because say Jim Broadbent tells me to do something one way, but then it's not how Gil wants it, the director. So if I then go and do what the director don't want, it just don't really work. But obviously they would, there's ways like more less on the acting side, but more to just help me deal with the pressure and help me because it's my first time on set for a long time doing something like this, like just to deal with that and to know what to do on my way around it, I guess.
Mm. I mean, there's also, I mean, I've mentioned you've got an amazing cast there, but it was such
Hmm.
a big set as well. Um,
Mm.
what was your reaction, say, when you first day on set, when you walked on?
Yeah, it was amazing, especially where we filmed in the studio. On the back lot of the studio, they'd built a giant Elfhelm village, like to scale out of wood, which was incredible. Like it just made the whole thing feel real, and obviously really helped me and the other actors to feel part of the scene. But I think the first time on set, we was out in Slovakia in the snow in this mountain in the middle of nowhere. I was on a frozen lake. It was like minus 300. I had to lay on the snow because it was a scene where I get found um, passed out in the snow by Toby Jones and Indica. And yeah, it's freezing. I had about 3 layers of thermals on. But yeah, it was all surreal. It was amazing.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say to you, I mean, there is some wonderful scenes in there, and obviously lots of snow.
Mhm.
That must have been so much fun to work on as well. I mean,
Yeah.
for you, but what was the most difficult scene for you to film, and what was your favourite film scene?
Um, I think the most difficult one was that first one, because obviously it was like my first time ever filming, really. Especially I was like the focus of the scene and stuff. And it was the first, loads of pressure, loads of people standing around me. It was like, oh. Um, and then yeah, obviously with the snow, with like the 3 layers of thermals in this massive mountain in the middle of nowhere. Um, yeah, it was quite difficult with how cold it was. But then, to be fair, I remember we were still doing the same scene, I think, a couple of days later, and the sun had come out. I was wearing these 3 layers of thermals, and I was absolutely boiling. So it was weird. Um, yeah, and then my favourite scene I've always said was the scene where me and Zoe shoot out of the tower, and we land on the roof because there was loads of wire work and stunt work, which was really fun. They'd drop us from a crane onto this roof. They'd like lower us onto this roof in this big Elfhelm village, and we'd have to like climb over the roof down the tree into the classroom. Yeah, it was just a load of good fun, and obviously Zoe was great to work with too. So yeah, just made it all really good time.
Yeah. You get to ride Blitzen as well, and you have
Mhm.
Mickey the mouse.
No. Yeah.
Once again. I take it those were CGI scenes, obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
How difficult was it to work? Say, especially with Mika as well on your shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I was riding a reindeer. No, it was more like, a bucking bronco, the ball things that spin around. It was in this massive studio. It was all like a massive green screen, and in the middle was just this plastic mechanical bucking bronco, basically this green thing, and it would just go like that and spin around. So yeah, it was really weird. Especially the first time I met Jim Broadbent, like quite surreal. He's like massive actor I've grown up watching in Harry Potter and so and so. And the first time I meet him, we're sitting on this plastic pretend reindeer in the middle of this, basically on a bucking bronco, which is quite weird. And then the mouse was just a little magnetic pin on my shoulder. So yeah, it was weird to pretend I was talking to this funny little mouse with a little pin on my shoulder. And then they had a couple of puppets as well, which was quite cool. But yeah, it's amazing now how we've come to life and like what he looks like now.
Yeah, I was going to say as well. I mean, how was obviously when Mika's talking to you, was that already pre-recorded but was somebody reading his lines to you?
No, it was Gil, the director, was doing his lines, which was funny. No, the first time I actually heard Stephen Merchant doing the lines, I've still not met him, which is weird. So he's like my best mate, but I've never met him. It was like it was like in this ADR room, and I was doing the ADR, which is like just audio recordings after we are in post, and it was just his lines, which was quite funny. Especially his accent made me laugh because my whole family's like Bristolian, so they've all got that West Country accent. Oh yeah, it just made me laugh. The accent adds a lot to the character.
Okay, and finally, when it comes to Christmas movies, what's your go-to movie to get you into that festive spirit?
I'd have to say Elf with Will Ferrell. Yeah, I think that's unbeaten. Obviously Home Alone's up there. That's a classic. And I don't know if you've seen Nativity.
Yes, I
I
have.
always like watching that. Yeah, but Elf by far is always it's the funniest one.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, gets you in the Christmas spirit. I like that one.
I must admit, watching this film as well, I did feel all Christmassy. I went out and bought some mince pies.
So in November.
It's done the trick.
Yeah. No.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time today.
No
It's been
worries.
an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.